This show is so wholesome. I love it. Akebi Sailor Uniform episode 4 was absolutely fantastic, and I love it because it was the whole idea of the episode was seeing another side of somebody. And what's funny is like halfway through the episode, I'm just figuring it's Usagihara. We're seeing another side of her, but in actuality, from at least Tanigawa's perspective, it's technically seeing another side of Akebi. And also Usagi seeing a different side of Akebi as well. And it was interesting because I almost thought it was a jealousy thing. It really almost pinned it as a jealousy thing. I mean, it technically was. But having that point where Usagi realizes that Akebi is not flawless, I guess. And that's really the key point there. But I like that despite not thinking they were going to do it, like, are we going to get in through an entire episode without one embarrassing moment? Every episode has to have an embarrassing moment. And sure enough, like at the very end, Akebi burps. And I was like, was that a burp? And I went back, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so goofy. It's so absolutely goofy. A little burp that comes out of nowhere. I love it. I love this entire show. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, but yes, opening up this episode, Tanigawa is trying to create this new pamphlet that's basically a bunch of photos for the photo club. It was kind of weird because it seems like we skipped forward. Akebi has technically already joined the theater club or the drama club. She has a president there, and she had to ask her permission to help Tanigawa with this thing. And she's like, well, it's going to get you experience. Do it. Very brief introduction to this club president, but she's apparently there. Apparently she likes filming Akebi doing exercises. But yeah, it was interesting because it's this whole idea. Okay, she's going to go help Tanigawa, go get pictures, and eventually at least them going to this one ceremonial tea club place where they want to take these really nice photos in this really nice setting, and she can't quite get a good picture. She keeps taking pictures of Akebi, and she's like, this doesn't look like you. I'm not capturing the you. And so she decides to start acting like Mickey, and it's like, oh, that wasn't you. You're getting further away from it. It's like, oh, because I was technically mimicking Mickey. But this leads to them getting a ball from Usagi hits them and splashes mud, and so they decide to go to the dorm, which is cute because it kind of points to this idea that not just Akebi, but Tanigawa has always just left straight home. She never has gone over to other people's places, so going to this dorm is kind of a nice change of pace. But that's when we get to the dorm, and it was a really cute little scene because it kind of calls back to the mother again. This dorm lady apparently knows Akebi's mother because she's kind of thrown back by the uniform, talks about how her mother loved to break rules, but at the same time, everybody loved her mother. So it's, yeah, we're quite similar there between her and Akebi. But it was funny because we had this whole point where she realized that her socks have holes in it, so she's super embarrassed by it. And this kind of threw me off, honestly. This honestly threw me off. This is a girl that will just take off her shoes and sprint down a track. This is somebody that does the most oddball things. We've always established that Akebi's different. She's a country bumpkin. She does things that everybody else finds embarrassing. But the one thing that she's embarrassed about is her toes sticking out of her socks. Like, why is this the thread that breaks? Why? Either way, it's cute. So she's hiding it, and they decide to wash it, which is a callback later. They did quite a bit of callbacks in this episode, which I really like. There was like the scene where Usagi's putting these bunny ears on Kamimoko, and later on she wakes up and she has the bunny ears on. And it's the same thing here. She hides the fact that she took them off. Oh, you want to wash them? Yeah, that's exactly it. And then she has to put them back on and realize there's a hole in them. There's a lot of really nice callbacks in this episode that I really like. But yes, this is kind of the point in which, again, we get a little perspective of Usagi. I'm going to call her Usagi from now on because for some reason I cannot say Usagihara. Whenever I want to say Usagihara, I can't say it. So, but yeah, getting another perspective of Usagi. That anywhere else, she kind of seems like she's a gossip girl. She's kind of kept to herself. But in here, it seems like she's almost like a dorm mother. Like she cooks the sweets and everybody loves to come see her. It's the thing that she did to create bonds with her dorm mates. Because when she first came there, apparently she introduced herself with the bunny ears, and she's like, wait, that didn't work? Well, I didn't flash my underwear, so it doesn't work the same way. But it's nice to see like a different side of her. She's always kind of seen as, again, a gossipy, tomboy kind of character. Now she's here, and everybody loves her. She's got this different atmosphere about her. And again, it's that seeing the other side of people. And equally with, again, Akebi, as they, have to obviously change her clothes. They put her in a nice, cute dress. And again, Usagi is, again, she pauses there, and she seems like she's jealous of how beautiful Akebi is. Like, she looks like an idol. She's like, well, if I looked like you, I would have gone to Tokyo. And again, it was like this really awkward pause. And again, I was getting a sense of jealousy there. She was jealous about how open Akebi is, how everybody likes her, and how she looks so beautiful. She's what Usagi wanted. Like, it almost felt like it was what Usagi wanted to always be. Like, no matter what, she can be great. But again, over time, again, seeing technically that Akebi can't cook for nothing, that she does have flaws, that she's not the perfect girl. And that changed Usagi's perspective of Akebi, which is interesting to really think back to like the first, what would be the second episode, where Usagi really kind of confronted Akebi almost aggressively, and almost like she was trying to call her out. Again, technically from Kizaki's eyes, it seemed like Kizaki was trying to pull her out of that, because it almost felt like she was either berating her or she was bullying her. Again, it's kind of like the previous episode, where I almost feel like I'm overthinking things. With Kojo and that whole experience there, it felt like they were trying to point out something with Kojo. Either that, again, Yuri baiting, or the idea of her missing her mother. Am I overthinking it, or is this the writer so really good at kind of subtly putting stuff in there that make you realize a further story that the writer doesn't really want to get into in depth? It's not as if Usagi's going to suddenly go, I got a confession to make, I actually am extremely jealous of you. It's not like Kojo's going to come out and say, you know what, you look just like my mom for a second there. Let me tell you about my backstory about my mom and the tragic dealings with my mom. It's subtle storytelling. And again, I might be overthinking it, but it feels like subtle storytelling, which I do, again, if I'm going by the writer's intent and that's what the writer's doing, they're doing such a great job. But if they're not doing it, I'm just either overthinking it or it's brilliant. It's just, either way, it works out in the end. And I'm loving it for that. But yeah, this entire episode also shows me that Tanigawa's lost. Like, she is full-on exhibitionist. Like, she apparently has been sending Akebi more pictures that she doesn't want anybody to see. She's just taking pictures of everybody left and right. All these kind of very close-up shots of Akebi. Even taking pictures of this poor girl as she's sleeping. And then, yes, taking technically a lot of pictures of Akebi in her new outfit. But yeah, Tanigawa's gone. Like, we've lost her. She is full-on... I don't know if I want to say pervy, but yeah, she's gone down that road. She's gonna, later on, she will be arrested for taking photos through people's windows. I mark my words. But yeah, and then to the later part, Akebi makes really crappy, what she call them, crackers made of charcoal. And again, we get that perspective of Usagi feeling more comfortable with her because she knows that she's no longer a perfect girl. And then, yeah, getting a really nice, cute little, again, lots of embarrassment for Akebi to break the ice at the end there, really having her burp, and then showing off the socks, and just a lot of funny moments. And then, again, technically, Tanigawa pointing out the idea that she's always watched Akebi run by this bus and wave at it, and joking about the fact that that's why you have holes in your socks, but also really technically acknowledging Akebi and what's so different about her, and technically what's special about her. What is this embodiment of Akebi? And I love that. It's almost like the writer themselves acknowledging the great character they've created. Tanigawa is the perspective of the writer going, look what I've done. I like this. I love this. This person is just a bundle of sunshine. And I eat it up. It's a fantastic episode. I love it. Like, everything about this episode just framed so well. And again, I might be overthinking a lot of it, but I think it's actually the writer. I think the writer is this good at just creating believable characters that aren't just trying to pour out their life story, but rather just show that there's these little cracks in their life that don't need to be focused on, but are there. But yeah, that's that's my thoughts on Akebi's Sailor Uniform, episode 4. Absolutely love this show. I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I am. Let me know that in the comments down below. Hit the like button down there if you enjoy this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share this video if you can. Support us on Patreon, or throw our tips link below. And we appreciate everybody that does. And y'all take care.